Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lightroom. We are very fortunate today. I have one of my favorite students, Erin Whitaker, here with us. Erin, would you tell the students about your business?
Hi, my name's Erin Whitaker. I own part of a millwright company. It's called Precision Mechanical Group. We're based out of Keokuk, Iowa. We do millwright services, so we do emergency repairs and a lot of scheduled maintenance on the large machinery and conveyor systems that run production in southeast Iowa and western Illinois.
Great. Erin, you were a student in this course. What were some of the things that you learned from the course that helped you in your business?
I think probably the most important lesson I learned was the importance of customer discovery. So really getting out there, talking to your customers, finding out what their needs are, what their wants are, what they like, what they don't like, what they want but they can't find. I mean, that really helps you. You can take that information and you can improve your product or service to better meet your customers' needs. You can also use it to kind of differentiate yourself from your competitors, because if there's, a gap in services provided, you can try to, cover that gap and offer something that no one else offers.
Fabulous. I love it when when people encourage other people to do research. Yeah. I remember when we talked about social proof, and we were having a conversation about that, and it was one that we were having, one-on-one. You had called in during office hours to get advice. And can you tell me a little bit about that, what you discovered through our conversation? There was someone that you had a relationship with that was able to give you some social proof?
Yeah, I had a friend who worked for the newspaper, and we were going to set up an article, and she was going to run an article kind of about how we were a family-based business who started our own company in Keokuk. Unfortunately, the week after that, the newspaper sold to another company, so we didn't get that PR out there, but it was good experience just talking to, people who write stories on stuff like that, and kind of, at least now she knows about the business and kind of spread the word just around town.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's something that's been benefiting you guys a great deal recently, right? So in the beginning of the business, you were building your brand. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that are happening now for you?
So we've made it we're almost to our second year, the end of our second year. So in the first 4 months of our second year, we made more than the first year total. So we're doing really good about getting our reputation and getting our name out there just by building relationships with our customers and just showing that we do quality work and we're available 24/7 to do, whatever they need to make sure that their business is running and they're being profitable.
Great, great. Are there things that you're really glad that you did in the class that you want to emphasize that other students should do?
Oh, absolutely. Every week you had questions that we had to answer and submit. And those questions, I know in a few of my college classes, I kind of questioned, like, how is this going to benefit my business? But there was never any question in your class. Kind of every single week I was learning new things that I should focus on the business, things I didn't know before. By answering those questions, it was kind of opening other opportunities, seeing other things that we need to think about, and it really has helped us become successful and grow our business.
Fabulous. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
You always seem to have a million things that you're doing. And one of the most impressive time management people that I've ever met. You always have 5 different jobs.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how you manage time effectively?
I'm extremely busy, so I try to make a schedule every week of just everything that I need to accomplish that week. I try to leave my Sundays open just so I have like a small break to, relax and not get burnout, but it takes very good time management and determination. I know there's some things that I kind of have to give up doing now, but if I put in the work and effort ahead of time, it's going to benefit me a lot in the long run. So
Yeah,
time management, that's the key.
Yeah, and it really showed in your work, right? So every week you got your work done, and getting it done kept building and building, and it really led to a great effect in the end.
Oh yeah, it was going back and writing the business plan, which we had done drafts before, but using the information that I wrote about every single week just helped kind of take the next level and cover more aspects that had been left out the first couple drafts.
What's the most important thing that you've learned about business through running your business?
Probably if you set and wait for the perfect time for something to happen or the perfect opportunity, you're not going to get anything done. You really need to do all your research and then just kind of dive in after you know what you're getting yourself into, because the opportunities won't really come unless you go out there and work and make things happen.
Right, it doesn't come to you, you have to
No.
make it happen.
No, the business doesn't work if you don't.
That's absolutely true. And you're doing this business with your family, right?
Yes.
So you can talk a little bit about that. What's it like to work with your brothers?
I think people say that the biggest problem with a family business is the family. We've definitely had our challenges. We've had some not so great days, but we all kind of have our area of expertise and we're good at what we do. So sometimes we might not be getting along, but we just have to, swallow our pride, put aside our differences, and get the job done. And we're very good at doing that. And I think at the end of the day, we're a family first. So we always remember that, and it keeps things pretty well in check.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we were talking earlier, you said that, people that you interact with, your competitors, that they want to come to work for you because of how good your company has been performing.
Yes, we've done very well at creating a reputation and, treating our employees with respect, which I think is a huge part of business. You have to treat your customers and your employees with respect and keep good, trusting relationships. So we've actually had some of our competitors' employees come to us to seek employment when we have a position open up.
I love it. When people trust you. You talked about that for customers as well. So now people are coming to you with problems that they have, and suggesting that you guys even open up different business lines because of their needs.
Yeah, it's been huge. We've actually got opportunities that we never even thought about when we first started this business. So we're looking at buying a vac truck, which helps with cleanup and big maintenance jobs. And if they have, something spill, we can go in and clean it up for them. And we've also been approached about hydro excavation. So working with, electrical companies, telephone companies, and digging holes with water, basically, because it's easier, safer, faster. If you go across a pipe or fiber line, you don't harm it. So that's just people coming to us saying, hey, do you think you can do this? And helping us grow the business and expand.
Yeah, it's wonderful when customers come to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
People like to talk about the wins. So everybody likes to talk about the wins and the successes. Let's talk about a challenge. So can you give me a time when you faced a challenge and what you learned from it?
I think some of the mistakes we made early on was trying to do too much. There were certain areas of the business that we knew nothing about. So we got a good business lawyer, we got a good accountant, and they set up the corporation, they set up all of our payroll and tax ID, stuff like that. So I think we learned early on that it was good to kind of outsource some things. Another big thing was our safety manual. In our industry, it can be very dangerous, so safety is the number one priority. And to even step foot on some of the property of the factories we work in, we have to have an OSHA-approved safety manual. And I have a background as a safety manager, so I thought, I can just write this. And the more we looked into it, I was like, there's no way it's going to take me months to get this. So we actually teamed up with a company that specializes in safety manuals. We kind of sent them the industry we're in, the scope of practice we do, and within a week we had our 200-page OSHA-approved safety manual.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Definitely a good ROI in that investment, right?
Yes, very good. Saves us a lot of stress and time.
Excellent. If we could just take a minute, I think the students might struggle with a little bit about what you guys do. Could we talk a little bit in more detail about the kind of service that you provide your customers? Like if I was a manufacturing plant, how would I use you?
So many of the manufacturing plants have large machinery that runs production, a lot of conveyor systems, and when they break down, we go in and we'll fix, an elevator or something that lifts stuff up, or machinery that puts stuff down a production line. So we'll go in and fix that. And then a lot of factories, they do annual or biannual shutdowns where you pretty much just go in and inspect everything, make sure everything's running, do little routine maintenance, oil parts, make sure there's no screws loose, kind of just smaller stuff like that to make sure that production runs smoothly.
So you actually keep American manufacturing moving.
Yes, exactly.
That's fabulous. What's something that you think, what's a piece of advice that you wish somebody would have given you as a student that would have helped you be more successful?
It's okay not to know everything. It's okay that you don't know absolutely everything about the industry. I mean, do your research and know as much as you can, but you're never going to know everything. You always learn as you go. Making mistakes is fine. You're going to make mistakes, and you just have to, learn from them and better yourself and your business for the future.
Absolutely. It's always on-the-job training.
Yes. You're constantly learning new things and finding out, more efficient, better ways to do something you've been doing, and you're constantly trying to improve your service or product.
Is there a favorite resource that you have about entrepreneurship or business that you consult?
Yeah, you.
That's-
Definitely, I've talked to you about some things. I talked to Greg Barkis at the university. He kind of helped us discuss our options for financing while at the university, the library, using that to research, the industry and getting a lot of numbers and stuff that I wouldn't have been able to get without those resources. So that helped a lot.
Great, thanks. And thanks for the plug, Erin. I appreciate it. Guys, it's awesome to have somebody like Erin as a former student, and actually she's never a former student. So once you're my student, you're always my student. Erin, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah,
it was
thank
really
you.
fun.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun to talk to new students and kind of try to help them with their future projects.
Awesome.